Welcome to Tango Bravo. Join us as we delve into the real-world experiences and stories of everyday veterans. Today, we will begin with a series that will provide an in-depth look into the lives and stories of 3 American veterans. These stories cover deeply personal elements of the day-to-day aspects of the lives of American service members. It is a profound privilege to be able to share these stories with you. Join us as we experience life through the eyes of an American veteran.
My name is Nick. I was a staff sergeant in the United States Air Force. I was stationed at Ramstein Air Base, Germany, and Pope Army Airfield, North Carolina. So once I graduated basic training, you gather up all your stuff, and we got on a plane and flew to Keesler Air Force Base, Mississippi. And once you get there, it's just some simple in-processing, some briefs about not disrespecting the local people, understanding that you're a guest in the community, and the incredibly high rate of STDs in Biloxi. So I mean, once that happens, I mean, you get down to your actual schoolhouse training. And for my career field, which was 3DOX2 Cyber Systems Operations, it's a 4-month training broken up into 4 blocks. But no one really gets to go seamlessly into training, so I spent about 2 weeks before going into training pushing a mop around. And there are probably 50 of us waiting to go to class, so you spend all day mopping the floor, and then you go back and you mop it again, and you do that for 8 hours a day. But eventually you get to go to your first block of training, and that's IT fundamentals. And the whole purpose of that is to teach you the most bare bones IT knowledge. It's designed for a person who's never touched a computer. I mean, they go down to the most rudimentary level of this is a mouse. And for a lot of people, I guess that was important because you don't get to pick your job, you're just given this. So you actually have to go and learn kind of the inner workings of the computer. Fortunately for me, I was a PC hobbyist, so things like RAM and hard disk drives, that was all second nature to me. But for other people, I mean, you gotta know what RAM does if you're gonna work on a server system. That lasted 2 weeks, and then we go into Windows Server Administration, which is a pretty basic course. It's just enough to make you dangerous when you get there, but not enough to actually teach you how to do your job. Then you go into Database Administration, where they only teach you SQL Plus. And your second to last block is Unix. And they really gloss over Unix because such a small portion of the Air Force does it. They even tell you, if you're gonna put any effort into it, make sure you put all your effort into Windows administration and learn that, because that's what you're gonna do. And the majority of us did that. We studied Windows and we tried to beef up our skills on our own time. Lucky me, I ended up being a Unix administrator at my first duty station. So, take all your trainings very seriously, no matter what they say. And then finally after that, you go into CompTIA Security Plus training. I believe that's called 8570 compliance. And to work on any sort of computer systems in the DoD, you have to have Security Plus or better. So even though it's a certificate that you're supposed to have, I think like 3 to 5 years of industry standard experience to get, you're supposed to get it with just 4 months of training. And that's kind of the hardest thing you do, because you go to the class and then they give you 2 weeks of free study time and you put your head in your books 12 hours a day. Because I mean, that's the last thing, and if you didn't pass it, you got kicked out. You got kicked out of the career field and you were reclassed into something entirely different. Majority of people ended up going to services, which is you either work at the base gym or in the dining facility. So for a lot of us, it was like, wow, this is a huge difference in what we do mission-wise, but also what you set yourself up for in the future. Thankfully, I passed all that stuff and graduated on time. But other than that, your day-to-day mission in tech school is, I mean, you wake up, you march to class. It's Mississippi in the middle of summer. It's hot as can be. You march back afterwards, you do PT, and then you have the evenings off to study, hang out with your fellow airmen. You have the weekends off, like pretty much everyone, I believe, across all branches of the military, and you get out, they force you to do some volunteer work and do some good in the community. But all in all, it's not a bad experience. It's probably my least favorite time of the time I spent in the military, because it's just that limbo period in between basic training, which everyone's like, okay, I'm gung-ho, I'm gonna do this and get it over with, and the thing that you're really looking forward to, which is your operational Air Force experience. But you just put your head down, you get through it, and you learn as much as you can.
This is Tango Bravo. Our goal is to give you the full experience of sitting and chatting with service members and hearing the stories and details that are rarely told. And as always, please like this video and all others that you've enjoyed so far. Don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell. Thank you for your interest and support in our developing channel. And remember, if you are watching this, you are a card-carrying member of the Thrillhammer Nation. Thank you.
Thrillhammer.